Hey guys, for today's video I am going to be talking about character profiling. And character profiling, I feel, is a very important part in the story making process. It's the part where you really get to learn and understand who your characters are, and you get to create them and make them unique and individual, and you pretty much get to decide why they are the way that they are. So usually I do my character profiles around the same time that I am doing my complete story outline. I would recommend this because more often than not, who your characters are reflects what they do in the story and what drives the story along as a whole. So I would suggest doing them at around the same time. So usually what I do is I get an idea and I thought dump. And in my thought dump I have a little bit about the characters, usually a name and 10 or so facts about them that I know are going to be important in the novel itself. But I kind of don't really delve too far into it just yet. And I have my thought dump, and then I move on to outlining after that. And once I'm done outlining, that is when I get into my character profile. So I take what I have in the thought dump and I make a chart and I fill in the blanks basically and build this character from a name and a few facts to a well-rounded human being. So I've been character profiling since I've started writing, however it has progressed a lot, especially in the most recent months and years. I have, like anything, you have to adapt it to your own writing style, but I've found something that works for me, so I thought that it would be pretty cool right now if I were to show you an example of a character profile, and this is going to be one of my main character, Christopher Fitzpatrick, from my manuscript Roses. Alright, so here is my character profile for Christopher Fitzpatrick, my main character in my manuscript Roses. So the main points that I look for are obviously on the top. Some of these are blank as spoilers, but I wanted to share it with you as closely as I could. So obviously you need sex, gender, age, race, ethnicity, height, hair color, eye color, facial structure, lifestyle, family, friends, all the basic things that make a person who they are. And then you go on to sexual orientation. What are they attracted to? What is their sexual experience and why? What is their romantic experience and why? What are they good at? What is their schooling? What is their occupation, hobbies? Stuff that is not necessarily going to be addressed in the novel, but is better for you to know about so that you can base their character around that, because there's a lot of extenuating circumstances in a person's life that makes them who they are that not a lot of people know about. So it's really nice to have that kind of thing in there. Are they an introvert? Are they an extrovert? Right brain, left brain? What are their strengths, weaknesses? What are their goals? What are their fears? What are their beliefs? The kind of thing that you really gotta delve deep into. Again, you might not address all of these in your actual novel, but it's really good to know this, because the better you know your character, the better you can write your character when the time comes. So who knows, maybe you have this written down and you're not sure if you're going to use it, but down later in the line you're like, oh yeah, I could totally use this right now. It's better to have more information that you need rather than less, because then you gotta go back and you gotta make sure that it fits in with everything else. If you do this right at the beginning, you don't have to worry about going back and fixing things. And finally, another thing that I really like to put on my character profiles is the what would they die for, because that's different for everyone. Some people say would die for their families. They would do anything for their families. Some people would die for love. Some people would die for revenge. It all depends on who they are in their core, so I feel like it's really important to figure out what they would die for, and that's also how you know that you are really in touch with your character. If you know what they would die for, you know them on such a personal level, and that's really going to show through in your writing. Obviously, this character outline looks a lot different than, say, a character outline for a sci-fi novel or a fantasy novel or anything. Christopher is part of a contemporary world. He's part of our world. So there's really not much more that I can put in here. Now, say, for my manuscript that I'm working on, Ragnarok, that is a sci-fi. So I have a lot more things added to this, like what planet was he born on, what is that planet's culture, what is his weapon that he uses, does he have any like distinguished features, you know, stuff like that that you want to add for that. Like a fantasy novel, you could be like, oh, what are their magical abilities, what is their house, what is their special sigil, I don't know, you can, anything that you deem important to include in your character outline goes in this character outline, but I like to stick in this format. This is actually just on just a little notebook here. I usually do mine on the notepads, the same notepads that I do my actual outline on, so I can keep it all together. But like I said, I didn't want to have any spoilers, so I made a new one. But I'm usually a lot more organized than this. Yes, so that is my outlining process. It was pretty short, sweet, and to the point, as it should be. Anyway, so please comment what you thought in this video, and please subscribe to my channel. I put out new videos every Tuesday. And if you want to, you can go check out my website. The link is in the description below. And for constant writing updates, follow me on my Instagram and my Twitter. Links will also be in the description below. And as always, thank you guys so much for watching. Bye!